Injection sites. Does injection site actually make a difference? Can you feel the difference? Does it make a difference with side effects, with how much weight you lose? What about non-traditional injection sites? If you have injection site curiosity, then this video is for you. Hey everybody, it's Allie. I'm on a fantabulous weight loss quest, and hopefully you'll subscribe. Come along for the ride, because we're in for a doozy today. Also, I put out new videos every day. So this is the much requested video regarding everything that has to do with injection sites. And I just want you to know that today's video is brought to you by being emotionally attached to fictional dragons. And if you're wondering why I'm excited about this shirt, it's because one, dragons, and two, it is one of the gifts that I bought myself for losing 100 pounds. So let's jump into this. I am going to be dispelling all of the myths. I am going to talk you through all of the information, and I'm even going to talk to you about those pesky non-traditional injection sites and what you might be able to expect from them. So let's jump right into it. First things first, we're going to start with dispelling myths. And there are quite a few people who seem to be under the impression that injection site doesn't matter. That the only reason why you need to rotate injection sites is because you don't want to create any scar tissue, right? Which could then be problematic as far as your body absorbing the medication. In actuality, injection site does matter. And I made a previous video where I talked about injection sites, doing subcutaneous shots, and how they vary from spot to spot in regards to how quickly the injection is absorbed. And if you would like more information on that, then I suggest you research insulin shots, right, which are subcutaneous shot. And there are numerous health organizations that have charts to help people with type 1 diabetes who take insulin shots, and what they recommend as far as the best locations for the fastest or delayed absorption. Those same statistics apply to the shots that we're doing, right? GLP-1s. So is there a difference in injection site? Yes. Now, when it comes to side effects, this is where people vastly differ. And I find that there are usually two groups of individuals who are always butting heads on this. There is the group of individuals like myself who experience different side effects based off of the different injection sites that they use. Right? So for example, I did my shot in the back of my arm one time and never again because the nausea was off the charts, headaches for days, and it was just, the suppression was just crazy strong. Now, many people will use back of the arm and not have any of the issues that I just described. It really is based on each individual, and each person will have like a sweet spot or a great injection site area that works best for them. So that's group number one. Then we have group number two, who, despite there being research that was done on this, continue to say that because they don't experience any difference when it comes to side effects utilizing different injection sites, that it doesn't exist. Unfortunately, they don't experience any difference in any site. It doesn't make a difference to them. They can't feel it. They can't feel when it kicks in. They can't feel, the different side effects. Side effects are always just the same, right? So for those individuals, right? It doesn't make any difference to them. And you will often see them in support groups adamantly stating that this is a myth, this is made up, that there is no difference, it's all in your head, yada, yada, yada. The rest of us know that there is a difference, it does make a difference. We're sorry you can't feel a difference, but they actually studied it, and it is a real thing. So, nice try. Now, when it comes to pounds per site, there was a study that was done that showed that doing your injection in the torso, right, stomach area, abdomen, utilized, the best absorption and therefore produced the best results. However, those results were only marginally better than every other injection site option. So the jury is kind of out on whether or not this makes a difference. I personally did an experiment on myself where I did all of my injections for the entire month in the abdomen, and I didn't see any difference. Was the weight loss consistent? Yes, but it had also been consistent for 2 months prior to that on the same dosage. So it's really hard to say, and I think that for many people, it will be based on the individual. For the most part, according to the research, you're not going to lose more weight utilizing a specific spot. Now, let's talk about the non-traditional injection sites. So if you missed my video where I was talking about how people are now utilizing non-traditional injection sites, meaning non-pharmaceutical company approved, designated sites, definitely go check out that video because I show you all the various sites and I really go in depth on why people are doing this. And so that could be very helpful for you. So in short, for this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about love handle shots and also shots in the buttocks. So I have been researching people who are utilizing these shots, and for the most part, they fall into 3 categories. And I feel like these are kind of the same 3 categories with the traditional injection sites, with some slight variation. So, assuming that somebody is not changing their dose, right? So they've been on the same dose, it is predictable, they know the side effects, or they've gotten used to them and they're not having side effects, right? Many people try a non-traditional injection site to break a stall, to help them, kickstart that weight loss again, to maybe lose a little bit of extra weight, or to simply try it out to see if it gives them any different side effects. So, in the first category, when it comes to love handle injections and injections in the butt, there were many people who noted that it did in fact break their stall. Now, I cannot speak, right? This is all anecdotal evidence, by the way. I cannot speak to whether or not those people had tried all of the other approved sites beforehand. I can only take it based off of their word that they did. So many of them saw that by utilizing a new site, they were able to kind of kickstart their weight loss again. Now, on the flip side of that, there were many people who noted that the absorption of the medication was too fast. For example, there were many individuals who became sick, right, either with extreme diarrhea or extreme vomiting shortly after doing an injection in the love handle or the butt. And they were sick for multiple days after injection, and then they felt like they had no suppression at all. So essentially what I guess happened, and this is just my opinion, the medication was absorbed too quickly, right? because we're assuming that they didn't change dose. And they got it kind of all at one time in a few days. It absorbed quickly. It was too much all at once, right? Because it's meant to be absorbed over time. And then they literally felt like they had nothing for the rest of the week. There was also a group of individuals who felt no difference at all. It did not break their stall. They did not have any different side effects. They felt like they had injected water. And so they felt no different. What should you do if you want to try to do a subcutaneous shot in a non-approved spot or a non-designated spot? Well, the first thing you should do is talk to your doctor. The reason why these pharmaceutical companies tested these spots is because it is generally safer to do injections in those areas because there are fewer veins and arteries, so the chances of you hitting a vein is significantly lower, right? And if you hit a vein, while it's not the end of the world, you are going to bruise badly, it is going to hurt, and it may cause you to, again, absorb the medication too quickly, which can either lead to more extreme side effects, or it could lead to, you having a week of very little appetite suppression. So those are all things that you want to keep in mind. Now, assuming that your doctor approves it, get them to show you the areas that they approve, right? So I was absolutely shocked. I mean, shocked at how many people don't know where a love handle is. There were people that were pointing more towards the center of the stomach, more towards the back, right? Like what I would describe as like a flank, right? The back. There were people that were going more towards the hip, like if you don't know where your love handle is, then it's important that you talk to your doctor, to get them to approve you to do a shot in that location, and also for them to show you on your body where your love handle is. Now, I am going to assume, for the sake of this video, that you know where your butt is, okay? So I don't think we need a demonstration on that. But if you are concerned about doing an injection in a harder to reach location, right? If you're not using an injector pen, if you're using, a vial and an insulin needle, then it could be a little more challenging. You may want to enlist the help of a family member or a friend or somebody who could assist you, or your doctor or a nurse, right, at your doctor's office to then kind of help you out. So what are my recommendations if your doctor approves you doing an injection in a non-approved area? My recommendation is that you ensure that whatever is going on in your life the next 2 or 3 days after your injection, that it's not going to ruin your work week, your weekend, right? You need to be prepared in case you fall into that category of people who end up having, severe side effects. So for me, it would mean taking my shot on my normal day, which is Friday after I get off of work, because then I would have the whole weekend to recover before going back to work. You want to take that into account. The other thing you want to take into account is make sure that you have someone who knows where you are. And I know that this may sound silly to many people who have, a spouse, significant other, family members they live with, but if you are living alone and you are going to attempt this, there were a couple of individuals, a very small portion, who did experience lightheadedness, nausea, and they did pass out shortly after doing the injection. So what does this mean for you? Well, somebody needs to know where you are. Somebody needs to be there to make sure that if your blood sugar got incredibly low, right, or if you had some sort of medical challenge, that there was someone there to assist you, right, or someone who's going to be checking on you. So make sure that your friends, your family, whomever knows that you're going to be doing this, and so you can be safe, right? Again, after your doctor gives you the okay. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, give me a thumbs up. If you also love fictional dragons, then please give me a thumbs up and leave me a comment with a dragon emoji in the comments below. I read all of your comments. If you are looking for a positive only support group, I've got you covered. The link is in the description box below. And as always, be kind, rewind.